Hello, I'm Don Beyer, and I'm privileged to represent Virginia in the U.S. House of Representatives. And I'm also deeply honored to receive and acknowledge this award on behalf of my humble work trying to protect biodiversity and the Endangered Species Act. 50 years ago, Congress wisely and overwhelmingly, in a bipartisan way, passed the Endangered Species Act. And this law gave federal agencies the decision-making authority and the tasking experts to actually make listing judgments on the basis of sound science and lots of public input. And I'm excited to share that in the coming weeks, with other members of the Endangered Species Caucus, we will introduce a resolution to commemorate this 50th anniversary. The Endangered Species Act has demonstrated how successful legislation can be. 99% of all the species listed in those 15 years still exist today. Many of them are thriving. So it's made the difference of helping species not disappear forever and putting species back on the path to recovery. The very symbol of the United States, the bald eagle, is an excellent example of the success of the act. But the gray wolf is probably the one that we think about most. Wolves were basically extinct in the lower 48. We had trapped, poisoned, shot, killed them to extinction, and the Endangered Species Act brought them back. When gray wolves were reintroduced to the Yellowstone system, it transformed the entire ecosystem. I hope you've seen the many videos about that. And as we all know, federal protections for the gray wolf recovery remain extraordinarily necessary. There are a number of states that would still go back to making them all extinct again if they only had the legal ability to do so. And this is true for many endangered species. I'm proud to lead on endangered species in the House as co-chair of the Congressional Endangered Species Caucus with Debbie Dingell and others, because I believe that one of the most important roles that Congress can do is actually to fully fund the Endangered Species Act. We like to say it's not broken, it's just starved. For a number of years, with many fellow members of the House, Democrats mostly, and our noble chair of the House Natural Resources Committee when we're in charge, Raul Grijalva from Arizona, we've put together more than 100 members sending letter after letter to the Appropriations Committee strongly urging for full funding for the Endangered Species Act. Because there's hundreds of species that are listed with no money or little money for recovery. And if they can't recover them, they're going to stay on that list forever. Unfortunately, some of my colleagues in Congress have just made it their job, their living, to try to attack the ESA. During 118th Congress, I've tried to speak out against bill after bill, but there have been 38 bills already in just the first 9 months of this year attacking the Endangered Species Act. Our planet's facing an extraordinary extinction threat. We are under ecological crises all over the planet. And there's a study this year that found that 40% of the animals and 31% of the plants in the United States are in danger of going extinct. And 41% of our U.S. ecosystems are in danger of collapse. So to address this, Congress has to hold strong to the Endangered Species Act. That's why I introduced the Half-Earth Resolution, which was the title of E.O. Wilson's last book. The idea that we should put aside 50% of the terrestrial planet for wildlife, preserved for all time. And we need the lands and the waters for the biodiversity our life depends on. Right now, about 15% is globally protected, so we have a long way to go. But all you have to do is fly over this country and see how much of our land is unoccupied. No human beings, no human dwellings. It's possible for us to do much more. And the science demonstrates that by protecting half of the earth overall, enough species will survive to keep our own survival intact. As stewards of this planet, it's imperative that we protect its biodiversity for medicine, for science, and just for culture. So many of our deep cultural roots have to do with the animals that we co-evolved with over hundreds of thousands of years. So I look forward to continuing to advocate for full funding of the Endangered Species Act. Thank you very much for this award. Let's all work together to make the next 50 years of the Endangered Species Act even more fruitful, even more protective than the first 50 years have been. Thank you.